Mikaela?
With the recent increase in crime, why would City Council cut police officers, and are you in favor of that?
I want you to come with me. I have the same question. Here's the honest answer. I think cutting public safety at this point in time is the worst thing that we can do. I want you guys to feel safe in your homes, in your neighborhood, in your community, in this city. And, you know, our public safety departments they're the first responders. They're the ones that are hired to protect us. And with the spate of crime that's happened here in the last 3 to 4 weeks, even though statistics say that we are much better off than we were last year, everything happened, it seems like, at one time. So all of this negative publicity has come out about us as a city. But overall, our statistics and our data is showing us that crime is going down. One shooting, one murder is one too many. And so we can't accept that. We as a community have got to stand up collectively and say we're not going to take this anymore. And we got to put plans together and stop talking and do some things to change. We got to protect you.
Mayor Bing, I'd like to follow up. This is, I guess, a professional preemption. You wanted to talk a little bit about the budget. And it's a $31 million difference between where you are and where the city council is. In a budget of I don't know, what, $3 billion?
$3 billion.
$3 billion. $31 million doesn't seem like a lot of money in a budget that's $3 billion. And some of the suggestions from council have been not cut police perhaps, but maybe cut police overtime. And is there any room for you to compromise with the council? It's just not that big a percentage when you really look at the total picture of the budget.
Well, the first thing that happened is we cut $100 million out of the budget. So, and it took us 6 months of really with some very talented professional people who have been doing these jobs for a long time to make that kind of cut. Nobody wanted to do that in the first place. And even though we fought with each other internally to come to that $100 million reduction, I said early on that I wasn't going to play games. I wasn't going to inflate the budget, that I wasn't going to give people some funny math, et cetera, and we didn't do that. We did a bare bones cut to get down from $3.7 billion down to $3 billion. And we took $100 million out of the budget in terms of expenses. It took us 6 months to do that. When I presented that to the city council, they had it for 3 or 4 weeks and said another $31 million is what we can cut with no data. I mean, I don't know how they came up with that number in that short period of time. If they were that smart, we wouldn't be where we are. You had, I inherited a $275 million inflated revenue from the budget that I inherited. I inherited a $300 million accumulated deficit over time. And we have managed our way through that. People talked about a payless payday. People talked about a lot of negative things. We've done a really good job of managing this budget. I had hopes that the city council will allow me to present my first budget and hold me accountable and hold me responsible, because I think we can manage it. And I do understand. To answer your question, am I open to compromise? I've always been open to compromise. I don't agree with the $31 million reduction, but I'm open for compromise, and thought while we were up in Mackinac, I met with city council people, and they led me to believe that they would accept my budget with some recommended amendments. But when they came back Friday night, they overrode the budget, and we are where we are today. But I am willing to compromise. You know, it's a win-win that's going to be difficult, but we've got to really think about the people that we serve. So we can't continue to fight each other. That's the wrong approach, and I'm hopeful we'll get that behind us shortly.
Thank you. Adam, you have another question?
Can the city create tax-free zones for 10 years for new business to move in?
I don't really know the answer to that. Newt Gingrich talked about that up in Mackinac. If it's achievable, I am open-minded to doing that. Anything that I can do that's going to help the city and the citizens of Detroit, I want to do. So I'm not closed-minded about somebody thinking outside the box and doing some different things. I think I was elected on change. I think our city council, the new 5 members were elected on change, so we can't continue to do the same thing because we will get the same results, which are not very positive. So I'm open-minded to that. I think that there's got to be some legislation that would have to be passed. So there's a lot of backroom negotiating that I think will have to go on, but I think it's an idea whose time has come and we should definitely look at it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to Mikaela and Adam for being great questioners this morning. And I'll just, in closing, I'll just remind everyone that their work and a lot of great information about this region and about this city can be found at thedetroithub.com. When you are thinking that you need some positive news and you want to communicate that to your customers and to your employees, that's a great website to start. Of course, you can always read Cranes. So thank you very much. Good morning.